The Dave Anthony one I liked a lot too. Although you guys didn't fully grasp the philosophy, but it's okay because I never really fully understood Leibniz either.
Yeah,
I tried best I could to get it all together for you guys, but even I'm kind of like, wait, what's a monad again? And I
thought it was interesting that we uncovered an ancient math feud.
Yeah, it was like an East Coast West Coast rappers, but Newton and Leibniz over who made calculus.
On several occasions, Leibniz backdated and altered personal manuscripts, actions which put him in bad light during the calculus controversy. Oh, the calculus controversy.
There's a calculus controversy?
All right, we got to look at this one.
Who knew that was going to happen?
The calculus controversy was an argument between 17th century mathematician Isaac Newton and Gottfried Leibniz.
Oh, he was on the other side of Newton?
Yeah. This is why no one came to his funeral.
Yeah, no one gives a shit about him.
You don't mess with Newton. There's not a fig Leibniz out there, is there? Newton won.
Yeah, he did.
They argued over who had first invented the mathematical study of change known as calculus.
Oh.
It is a question that has been the cause of major intellectual controversy, one that began simmering in 1699 and broke out in full force in 1711.
Yeah, but if that happens in 1711, he died. When did he die?
He died in 1716.
Oh, okay. So this is right before he died.
Right before he died, shit hit the fan with this calculus thing.
Yeah, I just read that John Neal, writing in the Journal of Royal Society, and with Newton's blessing, accused Leibniz of plagiarizing Newton's calculus.
He was a hack. He was accused of stealing calculus.
And we are talking about a guy who did read and ingest.
This is interesting. Newton claimed to have begun working on a form of calculus, which he called the method of fluxions and fluents, in 1666 at the age of 23, but did not publish it except as a minor annotation in the back of one of his publications decades later. What if Newton is the fraud?
Right.
Now I'm in on this. I'm a little late from 1711, but I'm...
So how was it plagiarized if it wasn't published?
We have uncovered one of the great controversies of all time. In the last years of Leibniz's life, were embittered by a long controversy.
Brutal. With
John Keel, Newton, and others over whether or not he discovered calculus. Shit got really bad at the end. Who would have...
You want to hear this? A formal investigation by the Royal Society, undertaken in response to Leibniz's demand for a retraction, upheld Keel's charge. Historians of mathematics writing since 1900 or so have tended to acquit Leibniz.
Really?
Pointing to important differences between Leibniz and Newton's versions of calculus.
This is a movie for nerds.
So it is a movie for nerds. So they basically, like a lot of comedians, will come up with the same joke. Mm-hmm. And if math is at a certain place, it would tend to make sense that two people could at the same time advance it, right?
Right.
In the logical way it's supposed to go.
Wow.
But they just did it through different routes, but one guy got the shaft.
Imagine that in terms of comedy. A comedian who's worked so hard his whole life puts out his greatest work.
Yeah.
At the same time, another comedian puts out his greatest work. And the other guy gets credited for it. And this comic goes to his death, and no other comedians show up to his funeral.
Yeah.
And for years and years until historians figure out, no, he was actually a good comic.
And then it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.